We want to listen to music this morning? Or hi, Flavi. Hi, Livin. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. We'll see if maybe a notification goes out. And if so, then we might have a few other people join us. And in the meantime, I'm going to maybe choose a little bit of music. And my friend Envy just went live. Getting those notifications 10 o'clock Monday morning on the West Coast. And let's see. I want some chill music. Hi, Mrs. Earnhardt. Hey, BK. Hi, Trishy and Aaron08. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. I was just looking for some background music to play. And then this morning's show is just a lovely little chat. So I'm trying to remember. I think this one is over in Baby and Kids, which is good. So, how's everybody's weekend been? I have been selling snacks on the weekends. So I'm over in Baby and Kids for this talk show because that is my home. That's where I've spent the most time here on Whatnot. And I used to own a beautiful children's boutique. So I'm usually selling new with tags, kids merchandise at very, very deep discounts. But I also started taking advantage of the fact that there are so many incredible international grocery stores and unique little ethnic neighborhoods all throughout Los Angeles. So I don't mind driving to thrift, but I also don't mind driving to source snacks. So I've been doing, hi, Becca. How are you? I have a nice little bundle headed out your way. Monday morning is postal shipping morning. So getting caught up, yeah, getting caught up on all of my shipping from last week. So I'm excited for the new week ahead. Today, Basil is coordinating a Meh giveaway raid train. So that one is always super fun. They're quick 7-minute shows, just for a bunch of new sellers to be able to introduce themselves, and then a few of us seasoned sellers pop in to try and help bring a crowd, and we give away some random stuff. So I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do as my little giveaway, but I think I'm going to do it over in kids books instead of I've done it over in kids clothing, and I've done it in snacks, and so now I think we're going to hop over to kids books. If you would like to join that raid parade rage train, I believe it actually starts right at 10, so you can pop over there and see. Basil, I think, is getting started right now. I'm not positive, but it goes all day long, so I assume people will just kind of toggle back and forth, and hopefully you'll share the love with a bunch of those new sellers and give them some follows and some bookmarks. And of course, as you see at the bottom, I encourage everybody to create a listing that looks like mine that says bookmark this week's shows. And I try to pin it to the bottom of each show long before the show even starts. Because if you take a minute to like pop into your own show a few days ahead of time, you'll see people popping in and out, just taking a look, browsing, almost window shopping of sorts. And so definitely it helps to have something listed. I see a lot of people like myself that sometimes have a very empty storefront. So on Tuesdays, I like to teach, have very specific lesson plans because I was a teacher before I owned a boutique. And so I'll be teaching a little bit about how to gain a following, keep a following, and how to have more successful shows every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. If you haven't already bookmarked that, I would encourage you to. But otherwise, hi, Brandy, hi, Christine, and hi, Kay. Family popped in too when I was chit chatting, and there's heart fingers. So let's go ahead and post the next thing to maybe chat about. Um, I don't, this one will not be a live selling stream as much. There's lots in the bin. But otherwise, let's talk about buyers. I was, I like to toss this out there. I've tossed it out there a couple times before. I used to turn on verified buyers all the time before I went live. Now I don't turn it on, and so I'm not sure if this show has it or not. Sometimes I think it's on, sometimes it's not. Do you guys turn on verified buyers? I keep meaning to ask what that even means, and I always forget. So let me see. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to do music, but it's doing some feedback. I'm going to ask in the Discord. Do you guys know about the Discord? So, if you are not already a member of the Whatnot Discord, I do recommend it. It is a little clunky. I liken it to driving stick shift. Many of us know how to do it, but prefer not to. It's just like that. It's kind of, it's it's not an easy platform to navigate, but the app may or may not be easier. I find that the notifications are better on the app. So it's an app that I best describe as like old school chat rooms, kind of, but it's not that. They're threads. And anyway, that's where you can get some immediate help from Whatnot. If you have a burning question or need some problem solving, of course, you can always email seller support at whatnot.com, but you can also log on to the Discord, either the app or I sometimes use the desktop version, and you can get questions answered. They have different channels. There are hashtags like feedback, general feedback, analytics feedback, coupons. And so you can give feedback and then they take those notes and give them to the different web designers and coders and such. But anyway, the one that I was wondering about is what does it mean? So I'm trying to figure out where to even post that. Feedback, I guess general. Not even sure. Oh, there's category suggestions too. So they're open to suggestions for new categories. Um, Let me see. Curious what the advantage is to toggle on verified buyers. I haven't seen a difference and not quite sure what the difference is. All right, we'll see if anybody comments back. But I don't know what the difference is between verified buyers and not. I assume a verified buyer is somebody that has maybe put in their credit card information, but some people pay with Apple Pay or PayPal instead. And so I don't want to exclude anybody that has a form of payment. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because my daughter Josie had Apple Pay for a short while. She is 13, and she really, I think you have to be 15 or 16 to use it. So I don't know if she changed her birth date or what, but she was able to use Apple Pay to purchase some things in my Whatnot streams, and she couldn't enter giveaways or purchase things if that verified buyers is toggled on. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, look, Mustang Patty. I thought you might have fun being a moderator in the chat today. You always pop in, and so I gave you the power. Look, you have a controller. That means you can liven up the chat. You could even kick somebody out if you wanted. That's the main power of the of the controller. So anyway, that's I always write not really for sale folks because I don't want anybody to screenshot it and make it seem as if I'm trying to sell buyers or something. That's what the little disclaimer, not really for sale folks, is. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just curious. It doesn't seem like anybody really has an opinion on verified buyers. So I'll circle back to it maybe when I have an answer from Whatnot. Let's see. The other thing that I wanted to maybe chit chat about. Oh well, first let's all like, follow, and Whatnot keeps muting you. Interesting. Oh, did you? I might have had it. Let me see. Let me see if I have muted words on. No, I don't have any muted words on. Sometimes I do. There are a couple shows where I put the word show as muted because I really did the dollar repeats show. I want them to go fast and they're not about promoting other resellers. This one certainly is. I was just about to say, everybody, let's follow one another and shout out our shows and all the good things. So I'm sorry, Nicole. Not quite sure why it's muting you. Which word? Oh, you know what? So, oh, you know what? Because it's pay. Yeah. So PayPal is a muted word. And the reason it's a muted word is because they don't want me to say, oh, just go ahead and PayPal, or they don't want buyers to say, can I just PayPal you that? So they have PayPal as a muted word, because they whatnot, do not want buyers and sellers doing off platform stuff. So yeah, that one is a whatnot muted word. There are quite a few that are muted, and a lot of them are really weird, and it has to do like with gaming culture and words that are muted in video game chats, and so some of them are strange. There's something like with 9 donuts. If you try to type 9 donuts, Basil knows it, he always talks about it. You can type 3 donut emojis or 4 donut emojis, but not 9 donut emojis, I think it is, because it's some kind of, I'm off on a tangent there, but Nicole was asking, yeah, it has something to do with bots and video chat. I don't know. Ask Basil. But anyway, let's like, follow, and promote one another. I'm not sure if my friend Mrs. Earnhardt is still here, but I saw that she was having a dollar clear out. So if you guys are sellers, please type the word seller and then promote your shows. Okay. So I will start with the fact that I am a seller and I am doing giveaway today at 1:38. I have a 7-minute show at 1:38 that's going to have a strange giveaway and then some dollar books. Did that go through? It didn't, of course. There we go. So if you are a seller, go ahead and type seller and I will shout you out. We will follow you. If you have a show coming up, then go ahead and shout out your show. This is just a quick, let's like, follow, promote one another. And so Curtis did reply to me. See, I posted a question. Sorry if you caught that unnatural pause. It's because I posted the verified buyer question on the Discord, and Curtis answered me right away. And Curtis he controls the flow of conversations on the Discord, and he works for Whatnot. He says it's essentially a way to cut down on troll bidders or for buyers who are using a payment method that will fail on them. There's more info here. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, if this isn't a current concern to you, but it's available in case it is. So to qualify as yeah. So I don't turn it on anymore. Seller kids show tomorrow evening, 8/8. Heartfinger. Oh yeah, you had that really great Hannah Anderson show. So let me make sure that I've bookmarked your show tomorrow. Yes, and remember, my tip is to always have more than one show planned, even if you ended up changing it, because you would have gotten my bookmarks just now. Okay, so pop into your profile and put a Friday at 4, a Sunday at 7, Tuesday at 2 o'clock, just something, or every Thursday night. I know that you said you're a teacher, and so it's going to be a little bit harder. Choose a time that you think you can commit to, so that people know to look forward to that show and that time. That's a good plan for all of us. And then Nicole, I noticed you weren't selling as much lately, but I heard that you're doing real estate as well, and so certainly real estate hopefully is a little bit more lucrative than Whatnot selling, depending on if you make a big sale. You did have a good show last night. That's good. I was doing snacks last night. So let's see. Nicole, do you have any shows on your profile? If not, same advice. Yeah, you don't have any. Put one, even if you change the time, just put it there. Hi, too cute. Too cute. You have a big dollar clear out coming out. All right, guys, come on. We got to get those shows planned. I have like 100 shows planned. And you just move them around. I try to go on every day, sometimes twice a day. Today I'm going to go on 3 times a day. I know I'm not saying that I expect other people to do that, but my best advice, if you're here to chat and you're here for some advice, is to plan at least 10 shows. And they can be one a month for the next 10 months. You can plan well into 2024 if you want, but creating some consistency so that your buyers can look forward to it, whether you go live every Thursday night at 9 o'clock, or whether you go live on the 15th of every month, or every day at 8 a.m. during nap time, whatever you can try to commit to. I suggest planning it out, committing to it, putting it on your calendar, putting it up on whatnot, so that you can start getting those bookmarks and you can start creating a buzz. Then you can, then you can share all that to all of your other social media platforms and things like that. So the best advice I have is to create your shows to get those bookmarks. I know I want to get. I'm going to try and help you. Claire and I are going to try and help you get to 1,000 tonight. I've got all my tag list. I'm going to go old school like I used to with the raid parades and tag, tag, tag like crazy. You do have a little bit of competition going on today with Basil and the giveaways. So we're going to have to work hard to get people in the room. She is so close. We got to get her there. We got to get her over the top today. Oh, which reminds me, too cute. Add a silly something at the top of your buy it now. Remember, I had one seller do give me a high five. Put a picture of your twins with lollipops or something, and or cheese whiz. I mean, just something silly that says, buy the kiddos some cheese whiz, only 83 more to 1,000 sales. And you never know, maybe those last two or three cheese whizzes will get you over the top. I do think that there is value in still doing buy my pup a treat, buy my kid a cake pop, buy me a coffee in your buy it now when you haven't reached 1,000 sales yet, because each of those counts as a sale, even if it's just $1 into the virtual tip jar that isn't a tip. Tips don't count. So that's why I would say, I had buy me some Parmesan cheese after Basil rated me, and it was just a running joke, and people did. I had, I don't know, $4 or $5 come my way because that was before people could tip. And then when I was in Las Vegas, I did buy me a Tom Collins because that was my drink of choice. When my niece was in town, I said buy my niece a cake pop for her birthday. I did. What else have I done? So I've done Parmesan. I said put some gas in the tank for my new driver when Cecilia got her driver's license. I mean, it's all been less than $100 altogether. It is not a way to make money or pay the bills, but it's fun and silly and goofy, and it's advertising. You're just trying to catch the attention of your buyers, and some of them will, even if you can put help me keep the lights on in my boutique, all funds go towards the electric bill. Whatever you choose to do, I encourage something silly, goofy, fun, and use an emoji to help pull it to the top. So if you look at my buy it now right now, I have buy me an iced caramel macchiato because that is my summer coffee of choice. And then, oh, the gift the chat ones too. I don't know if I have that as something that we can talk about, but does anybody else need some bookmarks, likes, or follows? If so, but please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. And then next, let's talk about categories. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome. Let me go to your profile. And I am looking at my desktop. I prefer, instead of reaching forward and typing on my phone that I'm streaming from, for this chat to have my desktop as well. I looked at trying to put the camera behind over near the desktop, and it's a little crowded right now with paperwork. What a cutie patootie you have. All right, I see that you have 3 shows. I've done 3 bookmarks for you. I am now following you, and you're off to a good start. I would say just add, if you can repeat that. You have a really great thumbnail, that bamboo show thumbnail and that women show thumbnail, and then the baby girl thumbnail. Take each of those and create them one more time. Then you'll have 6 full shows on a desktop view and 6 shows so that you can get 6 bookmarks instead of just 3. Because I would have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So double your numbers. And that way, when you have your bamboo show today, you can say, oh, and I'll be doing my next bamboo show next week at 11:30 on Monday. And you can either do leftovers of anything that didn't sell or new inventory if you were to sell out. But when you have all those people in the room, whether it's 210 or 210, you want to tell them, hey, bookmark my next show. But if there's no show for them to bookmark, then you can't get the bookmarks. Okay, so I have been trying to be better about this because, like I said, I take the shotgun approach where I'm just like, here's 100 shows. I've been trying to be better about scheduling a show up closer to the current show that I'm having. So, as an example, I'm doing books at 1:30. I don't want my next, even if my next book show is 2 weeks from now, I want it to kind of line up at the top of my feed, and I change the time afterwards. That's a more like experienced tip that may or may not work. I'm testing that. But yeah, schedule those shows. And the default is your profile picture. So if you don't have time to make fancy thumbnails, you can use your profile picture or cute pictures of your kiddo as placeholders. And then let's also talk about categories a little bit. You're welcome, Jasmine. Welcome in, guys. We're just sharing some tips and chats. We're going to chit chat for like another 30 minutes or so, and then I will rate a friend and get ready for my second show of the day. It's a 7-minute show with our friends Basil. They're doing really fun giveaway raid train today, and all the giveaways are, which means so. Okay, take it or leave it. And so then I wanted to talk about categories. I kind of hinted on this. I'm in baby and kids right now. That's my sweet spot. That's my home. I used to own a children's boutique at the beach. And so I have a lot of excess inventory from when we closed up that boutique. Plus, I have 4 kids of my own and I love to thrift. So I have the world's biggest death pile. And I'm slowly working my way through it. But at the same time, I don't want to give away all of my merchandise at, $5. And so I'm peppering in some shows in different categories, both to make sales and to try and reach a wider audience, because I feel like baby and kids is a little bit saturated right now with more, well, most of the categories feel this way, but there are more sellers than buyers. But I, unlike others, am not necessarily complaining about that. Instead, I'm looking at those other categories. And so if there are people that are on the platform selling comics, those people might have kids, and so maybe I'll go over into comics and sell something, and at the same time get to know them and say, oh yeah, I also have a kids show coming up. Comics is a terrible example. I don't actually sell comics, but I have sold in the snacks division, and I've sold in the books division, and I've sold in the pallets return division, not because I buy pallets of Amazon returns, but because I was an Amazon seller. I mean, I guess officially I still am. I just haven't really been adding inventory. So instead my inventory's been coming back to me. And so yeah, baby and kids, books, snacks, or food and drink, I should say, and books, baby and kids, food and drink, and I think it's actually pallet returns is under estate sales. So I've sold in 4 different categories. And I do think that helps my numbers. So I have quite a few solds. Some of those are like $1, $2, $4 book sales. They're not 10, 20, 30, $40 garments. I haven't actually sold anything in women's yet, I don't think. But that is next on the list. Any other categories that you guys have had fun with? I did see The Perfect Price was selling in comics. That's why I mentioned that one. And Too Cute, you've dabbled in men's. Is anybody having any success in any of the other categories besides just baby and kids? Just curious. You have any fun shows coming up that I should know about? If not, that's okay. But I encourage you to look at the different categories and look at some of the stuff that you have in your attic or your basement, or in your master closet. There's a whole wide world out there on whatnot. Oh, Stormy, so you applied and are waiting. Did you apply in baby and kids, or what category did you apply under? I haven't heard from or seen Marissa in a while. I'm not sure if Marissa's, I assume she's still in charge of baby and kids. Stormy, which do you know? Hi, Moon Goddess. Stormy, in fabric. Oh yeah, yeah, that's great. I'm sure fabric shouldn't be too hard to get into. I don't think it's a very saturated, like some of the harder ones to get into are women's, and then like trading cards, sneakers, I don't know, coins. I feel like some of those maybe they already feel like they have enough sellers, but and luxury bags. Yeah. Luxury bags is the one where it's even an extra application process. But for those of us, once you are I think maybe people don't realize this. So let me say it for everybody in the back. Once you're approved in one category, you can sell in any of the other categories with the exception of luxury bags and maybe one or two others. So because I'm approved in baby and kids, I can sell in home and garden. I can sell in pets. I can sell in sports. I have to have the inventory. I mean, I still need to put on a good show, but a good show can be 20 items. I mean, if you and your husband play golf and you've just upgraded your golf clubs, then you can sell your old golf clubs. I'm saying all this to kind of encourage you if you feel like you've kind of, you know, are in a rut, maybe try and sell in one of the other categories, and that'll bring some new eyes to your baby and kids clothes. Yes, exactly. Moon Goddess does crystals. I forget about that category. I love buying crystals. I don't know enough about them to sell them. Same thing like with essential oils. Natural Oil Mom sells essential oils, and I love buying essential oils, but it's not a category that I would sell in. So really think about, I mean, fabric. One of my favorites to watch now is ephemera, which is like old postcards and scraps of paper. It's similar to scrapbooking, but it has a more vintage appeal to it. So thank you. Yay, Mustang Patty is testing out her moderator skills. So please do try to find another category that you can also stream in. It can be a 20-minute stream, it can be a 2-hour stream, whatever. But just dabble in it. And I feel like we need a few more people over in baby and kids. And one of the ways to do that, if somebody's already on the platform, as a buyer or a seller, we want to bring them over to baby and kids. And in order to do that, we need to spend some time in the other categories, both as buyers and sellers. So buy some crystals, buy some succulents, buy some snacks, and then sell some crystals, sell some succulents, sell some snacks. A little bit of the buying and selling in other categories is a really good way, hopefully. I mean, I don't want to be wrong. Hopefully, that would help us to build up the baby and kids category because people that sell succulents have or no kids. People that sell and buy essential oils have or no kids. People, that like snacks might also buy snacks for their kids. The garage sale category. I know I've been wanting. I'm gonna have my hubby and kids help me clear the porch. We're in a condo, and so we have a downstairs porch off of the master bedroom. That's what I use for most of my shows. And then we have an upstairs porch that is a hot mess right now because that's where the kids do their crafting. It's kind of like an outdoor crafting room. And because of these eucalyptus trees, it's a lot of maintenance. So there's a lot of dirt and seeds and eucalyptus leaves. Long story short, it needs a quick sweep and clean up, and then maybe I can lay some things out old school, like garage sale style, because I haven't had a good garage sale in years since we don't have a garage or a yard. We are in a condo. So, and then I posted, I don't know, I think I posted it. I don't know if I posted it to Instagram or not. I'm still trying to figure out how to post to, um, I know how to post, but how to share the posts that I have on one platform to another. The coyote, you guys, the coyote got really close. I have a coyote in the canyon back here, and he or she, I'm not sure, is coming into the like shared lawn. So neighbors are posting, watch out, the coyote is on the lawn. And then a neighbor took a video of the coyote walking right like 2 feet away from the entrance to the pool. Like this coyote has no fear. See, Stormy, yeah, there's a whole garage sale category, and I have gotten some good deals from that garage sale category. And I thought there was a pets category too, but then I feel like I don't know if it went away or if, let me see. Is pets still a choice, guys? I will check. I am curious. And they just added sports. Sports is the most recent category to have been added, as best I know. let's click on the home page. So these are the categories. And I have commented, I would love for a few more of you to also comment on the Discord that I hate that trading card games is always at the top of the list. It's not alphabetical. It's probably because it's their best performing one, but I would like something from the bottom of the list to float to the top occasionally. So these are the current categories on Whatnot that you can sell in if you're an approved seller: trading card games, sports cards, toys and hobbies, which includes a lot of things like Funko Pops, Lego, and plush, squishmallows, all those. Comics and manga, coins and money, estate sales and storage units, and that's where you can find garage sales or return pallets. So I have sold under the return pallet subcategory. Arts and handmade, which includes crafts and fabric. Electronics is also a new category, and they're really looking for. I got an email asking me to please come over and sell in electronics, and nope, I have no interest. I don't know anything about electronics. I'm not going to try. But if you or someone in your family does, they were looking for sellers. Action figures, men's fashion, sneakers and streetwear. And this one was interesting to me because so I did sell in streetwear too. I went to a sample sale, a warehouse sale, and it was for Zoomies. And Zoomies, I was like, this isn't women's fashion. It's not really men's contemporary fashion. And then I realized, oh, it's streetwear, like any of those kind of skater, surfer, urban brands, they fall under the streetwear category. So I keep forgetting about that one because a lot of times I do thrift that stuff here in LA. So sneakers and streetwear. And then we know about women's fashion, bags and accessories, beauty. And under beauty, they've got a bunch of subcategories. You can sell perfumes. They have fragrances as a subcategory. Now there's hair products as a subcategory and even nails as a subcategory. So beauty is growing. Baby and kids, we know about jewelry, watches, music, records, CDs, instruments. Did you guys know there was a subcategory instruments? That one seems new. Yeah, there's only one live stream right now in that whole category. Huh. Instruments and accessories. That's a new one to me. Let's see what else. I'm just going down the list. We're looking at all the other categories besides baby and kids where we can buy and maybe interact with the chat and say, oh, yeah, if they're reseller friendly, you can advertise your baby and kids show. Or where you can maybe sell some of the other stuff you have besides just baby and kids. So far, we haven't really run across any that are baby and kids friendly. Books would be the first one because there is a subdivision that is children's books. Movies, DVDs, VHS. I don't know if Ashley's still in the room or not. You sold DVDs on Whatnot, right? I think she sells them on eBay, but then I'm nervous. Like all of my used DVD. Did you sell used DVDs? Like I'm afraid that somebody would get it and be like, it skips or something. So I was just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? And I need to make a physical note because I keep forgetting to do it. Actually, I can do it right now. Watch this, chat. I am going to create a quick listing that is gift a DVD. I just want to give them away. Gift the chat a children's DVD. And I'll clean up, let's see. Or gift yourself from the kiddos collection. All right, $1, and I have like 50 of them, but I'll put 100. And DVDs are 4 to 7 ounces. There you go. I created a listing and it is now in my Buy It Now. It's the second item in the Buy It Now. It says gift the chat a DVD. And I wanted you to see that thought process because I get these thoughts all the time. And if I don't do it right now, then I will forget about it. So I quickly created a listing in the middle of my show. I have an entire box of DVDs over here. The kids are not watching DVDs anymore. We're done with DVDs. And so I will make sure before I send it to anyone that there is a DVD in there, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. It's a gift. So if somebody wants to gift it to the chat, or if they want to take a gamble and buy a DVD for $1, it's a random choice. I may not sell any, but I'm saying it so that you can be creative with what you have. If you are a retired teacher and you have a bunch of books, then you can do that same thing. You can say, gift the chat a book. Like, you don't have to have a book show where you sell one after the next. I encourage it. But if you don't have as much time, just have a little box of something off to the side and call it the gift to chat feature, because there is that feature where people can go in, and if they're feeling really friendly and kind, they can choose an item from your buy it now, and basically it's like a giveaway. They give it away to the chat, the whatnot randomly chooses, and it'll say, you know gift to chat. So think of something that you can maybe gift to the chat this week in your shows, like something that you can put there as a listing. And then if you're looking to get your name out there, that is another way of doing it. Like, it's an investment, but basically what you're doing is, I've seen sponsored giveaways, and that's another thing I'm about to ask. I'm going to ask if sponsored giveaways are okay. I hesitate to recommend them because I didn't think you could do sponsored giveaways. It's still not in the choices. Feedback, general. I'm going to ask real quick, guys. Can we do sponsored giveaways? Other words, I make a listing in Buy It Now that says, get a Starbucks gift card giveaway, $10, and someone buys it, and not someone, and a seller buys it in exchange for their name added to the giveaway when it's run. Okay, I added that question. I want to know. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So I've seen a few people do it in baby and kids, and I think it's a great idea. I just don't know. I asked Trust and Safety because I got in trouble for selling shout outs. I was just selling them for $1. It really wasn't about the money, it was just about the record keeping. And I said, buy a shout out in my future show. And I was just trying to give some of the new sellers an opportunity to be mentioned in a future show. And I got a trust and safety violation for it. And they said that I was trying to sell followers. And I was like, well, no, I'm not selling followers. How can you sell followers? Anyway, I went back and forth with Trust and Safety and decided it wasn't worth it. I don't want to risk my account. And so I stopped selling shout outs. But then I saw people doing sponsored giveaways. And so I asked, is this allowed? And they did the lawyer thing, and they referred me to what giveaways says. And I'm like, well, that doesn't answer my question. So I haven't done sponsored giveaways because I am nervous about it. Their replies are so vague. So let's see. I'm sure that now that I put it on the Discord, they're going to say refer to Trust and Safety. So I might try again just to see if I get a different Trust and Safety person to answer. But I'm not sure why we went to. Oh, the reason I was saying that is because I feel like the gift to chat feature is a workaround for that. If a big buyer is not, if a seller is not offering sponsored giveaways, and you're in their show and you're like, wow, this is a really cool show. They have a lot of people in here, and they have a nice little gifty item in their buy it now, maybe some earrings or a snack. I just put DVD, face mask. You can choose that, and you can choose the gift to chat feature, and then you can type a little message, and you can actually type something like, new seller, appreciate the follows, or enjoy from at sign Terra e Casas. Just think about it. If you're in a really fun show, look for the gift to chat feature. It will cost you a minimum of $5 because it's $4 shipping, and then that would be if the item is $1. Like if you look at the DVDs right now, it's going to cost you $5 to send it. But if you've already purchased, no, it always costs five because $4 for shipping and then a minimum five. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. Yeah, so exactly the mystery boxes. I am also I have not I did some mystery bags like on the fly because I found a couple bags that came back from ThreadUp and I was like I don't know what's in these and the people that bought them, were absolutely really willing to take the risk because they were having fun and it turned out they were filled with Matilda Jane. So it was a huge gamble on their part. Not a huge, it was a $10 gamble on their part and I lost a lot of potential sales, but we had fun doing that. I have never done any of the mystery boxes that you see, like, obviously Nicole State has shows every night now with different mystery boxes. Sumo Cells does a really good job doing mystery boxes. I'm There's Rodney Resells or something over in pallet sales. I've seen them do mystery boxes. I've seen quite a few people do it and do it well, but you are supposed to have a floor and a ceiling and an average price. And for me, that's really hard to do because a lot of my things, they have retail prices on them, but they're old merchandise. So I have a hard time determining their value. In my opinion, their value is based on what somebody is willing to pay, not what it's marked. So coins do a ton of mystery. Oh, that's interesting. See, I've never really sat through a coin show since it doesn't interest me that much, but maybe I will just to I find that when you go into other categories, you can learn a thing or two about how to do game like games is the other thing. I know that Savannah Sharkey has been doing that memory game with Bamboo and Little Sleepies. And that is a great little game. She puts a lot of effort into it though, and I've been wanting to see more games and game shows. Baby and kids, we don't do any games, and I don't because I don't know how. So please, if you're in a good show, whether it's coins or comics or if it's garage sale and anybody that's doing a good game or a good mystery box or something that you feel like, oh, Tara would love this, please tag me because I want to see more diversity and variety. I'm always happy. I don't mind if you tag me in a baby and kids show. I will try to pop in and say hi if I'm in front of my device. I always reply to tags. But I also want to be tagged in some of the fun stuff, like things that I wouldn't maybe normally see on whatnot. So Emily, so you and Moon Goddess need to be BFFs because Moon Goddess also sells crystals and baby clothes. So right above you, Emily. Oh, good. So I'm glad that you are. And so you're struggling. Okay, let me just say this. We're all struggling right now. And part of why I'm doing these Monday chats and my Tuesday teaches is because I'm trying to drum my audience back up. Guys, this last week, I just pulled out my earnings from the last three shows, and it was less than $100 for my last three shows. Usually, each of my snack shows, I can do an hour show, and I can get and I got $100. That was the average. That's why I continued doing snacks. I'm like, oh, this is easy. My hubby helps. We do it once a week or twice a week, and it's really good pocket money. Like then we can go out to dinner with $100, right? Um, but we did an hour and a half, no, we did a 2 hour Asian snack show and it was like $40 at the end of the show, and then we did the Mexican show and it was a little over an hour and 15 minutes, and it was like, $30, and then one of the kids shows that it was $20. So I'm just saying, we're all struggling right now, and some people are saying it's the, no buy July. This is my first July. Well, now we're in August. This is my first summer on Whatnot. I'm used to huge sales in the summer because I had a tourist boutique, at the beach. And so July was always my best month of the year, but that's because I was in opposite land. Everything for me was opposite. So I don't know how July was last year for people. A few of the experienced sellers have been saying it's okay, just hold tight. Um, Things will pick up as kids go back to school, which is in the next couple weeks, right? And so my advice is to pop into these chats, introduce yourself, and then we've got to spread out. So you can no longer just rely on the current followers that you have to support you in your live streams. You have got to try and get more eyes into those live streams. And one easy-ish way to do that is by being more social on Whatnot in other categories, outside of crystals, outside of baby and kids, so that people get to know you and they come over. So for example, the fact that you're talking to me about crystals, I'm going to go bookmark your shows, and I, who am not in the crystals category, will try and pop into some of your crystal shows. Um, so being social in other categories is a good way to gain more followers, and you can be social by introducing yourself, by buying their goods, and by buying gift to chat. Like sometimes you do have to spend money to make money. And then we haven't talked about it at all yet, and we can if you want to. I am now trying to use TikTok, Instagram. I haven't shared it with my Facebook family and friends yet, the fact that I am selling on Whatnot. So there's a lot. The chat is livening up. So let me see. Um, doo, doo, doo. Yep. Moon Goddess said the same thing. Being active. Sorry, there's a huge glare on my. Let me just see if I can read this one better. Nope, this is bigger. Being active in other chats for other categories really helps boost. And sponsor giveaways. We had to wait. The plies. Thank you, Mustang Patty. Coins. Sneakers. Oh my, sneakers, they scare me. But they do a lot of games. So I do need to go into more sneaker streams. And um, so Emily Ashlyn, I 40 or $50 in two kids shows right now is good. That's good. I can tell you that a couple other seasoned sellers, and when I say seasoned sellers, that means they've been on the platform for 3, 4, 6, 8 months. They have 1,000 followers or more, and they too are having shows. Like I set the goal last week after I had two $0 shows last week. Two $0 shows. That was the first for me ever. And I had taken some time off. And so I realized, like, oh, yeah, this is what happens, Tara, when you take a bunch of time off and you're not like, you can't just expect to go live and have people come in. You're going to have to work harder at advertising your shows. I also had raised my prices. And so when I had $0 shows, that was a wake up call to me like, okay, I need to change what I'm doing. And so, two things that I did: one, I lowered my prices. Two, I advertised my shows more. And so lowered my prices, advertised my shows more. And three, went a little bit longer than I gave up early on those first two shows. I was like, peace out. And I still only had the best show that I had was 40 items at $5. So that that was after a lot of work. So it's tough. It's tough. There's no easy answers, but you're doing the right thing by being honest about it and trying to check in with others and see if they're also struggling or trying to get some tips. And I will share any tips that I have. That's why I do these lives, because A, I want you guys to know that it's not easy. B, I'm here to learn from you, and C, I'm here to share both my successes and my failures. Full transparency. Like, I only benefit from your doing better because that means you're bringing more buyers to the platform. Yeah, tag Moon Goddess. Please tag me in the calmer ones. Oh, family 215. I hope you have a good doctor's appointment, and thank you for joining. If you want to pop in tomorrow, I'll be a little less scatterbrained. I'll be a little more organized and orderly in my Tarot Teaches session. So Stormy, what I'm finding right now is I missed the season. So a lot of what I have is spring, summer, and I already sold off a lot of my fall, winter. So I'm having to really think outside the box about how I approach back to school and holiday. And I still have enough that I can do fall, winter, and holiday shows, but I'm going to be sitting on a lot of summer merchandise for another 5 or 6 months because I didn't hit it as hard as I should have in March, April, May, June. Nobody wants to buy sundresses and swimsuits. And that's part of why I had those $0 shows in August. Did I miss any comments? Oh, sneakers are your biggest supporters. So, okay, you have motivated me to spend some more time in sneaker streams. I will admit that. So, Fly Girl CAS, she sells sneakers as well, and so I have gone into her baby and kids' lives, and she has sneaker people in there supporting her all the time. I guess these sneaker people, they got some money to spend because man, those sneakers go for a lot. So maybe we all need to rush over to sneakers and try and say, hey, we're lonely over in baby and kids. Come help us out and get some of those sneakers guys to sell kids sneakers and baby and kids. Emily, what is oh, let's okay, there it is. It's tough and high risk during your pregnancy. Wait, what? I know. The buy sell trade groups are scary though too. Like they got no patience for you not knowing exactly what you have and exactly what it's worth. I feel like the BST groups, they take advantage of I feel like Whatnot is friendlier, but you do make more dollars if you have the patience for the Matilda Jane addicts and the little sleepies. Yeah, I haven't. I dabbled in Livy and Luca and Matilda Jane back in the day, 10 years ago, when some of the BST really started on Facebook. I feel like that's where it started, Matilda Jane and Livy and Luca, and so I did participate in those. Mostly, I bought. I didn't sell as much. And then recently, with all the little sleepies craze, I joined a couple of those groups and I ran away fast. I was just like, I don't understand. It's a whole other language and methodology, and I don't have the patience or time to learn it. I don't own any of the little sleepies brand because that's new since my little guy, he's about to turn 7. So good for you if you have the time and energy to understand it, learn it, and sell on it. There is money to be made, but I much prefer the casual, lighthearted, back and forth, conversational nature of Whatnot. It's my preferred, and I understand that I'm not necessarily making money. I am putting money in the bank instead of into my storage bills. Yeah, right. You have to. I'm reading the comments where sometimes you pay more. You can get caught up in the hype when it comes to the buy sell trade groups. That's what BST stands for, buy sell trade. Emily, congratulations! Rainbow babies are the best, and you're high risk. Um, and rescheduling your lives is a okay. Most of us understand that, and um, I will say that there are times where, like one of my friends, I popped into her show and it was a $0 show. I tried. I tagged a couple people. I tried to get people in the room, and it just was not happening. And so she stopped after about, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. And then after she got off, I sent her a message. I'm like, it seemed good. Just maybe reschedule. And I quick looked and I said, there are 12 shows going on in baby and kids right now. And there are often times where there's only 2 or 3 or 0, especially in the middle of the night, early in the morning, late at night. So it can make a difference if there are a lot of shows going on in baby and kids, because once you take 5, 10, or 15 buyers and you spread them out amongst 10 or 15 shows, then it can be hard to hold the room and keep, like I said, even for our seasoned sellers. So definitely play with different times, and every now and then step back and be willing to reschedule your show if a bunch of others are scheduled at the same time. Or you can type in the chat and say, hey, delaying the show, rescheduling it for tonight, and those bookmarks will carry over. Oh, I'm going to start listening to the reseller chats and sneakers. Thank you. I appreciate that. $80. Yeah, no. 10:30 Eastern. So try the early morning. So if you're on Eastern time, remember that some Californians are still up late when it's early morning. So let's see, like um I don't know, 5:30 in the morning is awfully early. Eastern Standard Time. But at 2:30 in the morning, there are some people that are still having a hard time falling asleep in California. So, oh, and I've had buyers in Hawaii, so just keep that in mind that there are so many different times that you can go live when it will hit different time zones. Yeah, Bella, that's what I'm finding too. So I'm sorry you hurt your back. I was out because I got a little bit of burnout. So there was a little bit of drama, and I just was like, you know what? I need to take a break from this. And it coincided with my birthday and my anniversary, which are both in July. So I did a couple shows here and there, but really July was my lowest month since I started back in January, and I'm hoping that I can turn things around in August. But it's already the 7th. The first week was okay. It was barely okay. We're talking like C minus as far as successful, and I did 6 days worth of shows. Some of those were 2 shows a day, so wasn't great. 10:30 p.m. until 6 a.m., you mean? Yeah. So 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when, New York and everybody is waking up. Let's see. You're tagging some of the sneakerheads every Monday. All right. Awesome. Let me go over. I'm going to click those profiles. Thank you for the tags. That's the way to do it, guys. Tag one another. This is a social platform. I have seen some. So when I was organizing the raid parades for new sellers, I had a bunch of people asking the same question, like, how do I get more people in my life? How do I gain more followers? And there's no easy answer. But the best answer I can give is to gain followers, be a good follower. That this is not a just open up the storefront, go live, and they will come. That it doesn't work that way. You have to engage the chat. You have to remind your friends. You have to reach back and send a message to buyers. And I don't think any of us are doing enough of that, where we actually reconnect with the people that have already purchased from us and say, thank you, I'm having another show, and tag people here and there, but in not a spammy way. Really looking at the platform as a social platform and socializing on the platform. That is what I'm trying to do right now. And going forward, reconnect. Like today, one of the little things that I did, one of my best buyers is Mustang Patty. I gave a buyer control because I wanted to say, hey, I acknowledge you. You are important to me. And I love when you come and support even my reseller chats without being a reseller. So, welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Keem. We were just talking about reseller chats, and Moon Goddess said that you. So here, I'm going to give you a look at you, 22,000 followers. I feel so honored that you replied to her tag and popped in. She's saying that we can learn a lot from our sneaker friends. Because over here in Baby and Kids, we're kind of things are slow. Things are really slow. There's no dollars, dollars, dollars. Ooh, afternoon. You must be over on the East Coast because it's still 11 o'clock here on the West Coast. He is the king. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to tune in. I am not a sneakerhead, but I like standing in the shadow of anybody's success. So I am happy to listen in and learn. Listen in and learn. Georgia. Yep, and you've got a ma'am as well. I used to live in Houston. I started saying ma'am back in the day and y'all, but over in California I kind of lost it. But yeah, so overhearing kids, we're kind of we've gotten a little boring, a little stale. We need some good game ideas, and we need some sneaker hype. We don't have any hype girls. We don't have we're just kind of just selling kids clothes. Yeah, we're barely making ends meet. We're losing money. We're losing money. It was so sweet of him to come in. I'm anxious to go now and pop into his shows. And thank you, Keem. So, and then maybe he'll give me a little shout out when I pop in and say hello, because I was just saying that one of the best ways to gain followers is to be a good follower and to socialize on the platform like you're doing. The fact that you've come in, that you replied to that tag shows that you get it, that you understand. Like, this is a social platform. Somebody said, hey, we're talking about stuff over here. Come check it out. We and Baby and Kids have to do more of the tagging and the talking and the hanging out in other categories. We're kind of like stuck in our little box here and expecting people to come in and buy from us without reaching out and bringing some of those buyers over, because we've got great merchandise in Baby and Kids. It's just not enough people really realize it. I know, like, sneakers scares me. It scares me. See, there you go. Well, I am so happy that she did tag you and that she brought you over here. And now you'll get a few more of us Baby and Kid sellers over in your sneakers streams trying to learn from you. Exactly. So, we should be able to take some of what they do and apply it on a smaller scale, with the inventory that we invest in. Like, you don't have to invest in sneakers to make money on whatnot. But I do think it is for us. It's more of a volume game than, um, with sneakers and trading cards and some of the others. It's like what you said in the buy sell trade groups. There are collect like the people don't collect kids clothes the same way that they collect sneakers and collectible cards, and that is part of why it's a little bit harder to make those sales, is because Whatnot is a collector's platform as well. I actually collect kids clothes. I like to buy from other people to resell them, but resellers in clothing kind of have a bad rap, and until we can get others to realize there is value, both environmental and budget and just happiness wise, in a thrifting culture, in a hand me down culture, in a recycling, repurposing, reusing, giving more life to these kids' clothes, and honoring them and not thinking, oh, that's past season. It's going to be a while. It might be a generation before we can go back in time, I guess, or I'm not saying it right, until we can get to a point where, like with vintage clothes, where it's okay to collect vintage clothes, that it also needs to be okay to collect and trade kids' clothes, because we love them, we like the brands, and we enjoy the hunt, the thrill of the hunt, and the sourcing. Exactly, Mustang Patty, she's right there. Like, it really is a good category because, babies and kids are always growing. So when I first started selling, I went up to size 10, 12, and then I started working with my designers to offer more 12s, because many of them stopped at 8. And I was like, no, 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 I need the size 10, 12. And oftentimes the size 10, 12, because it was cut so tight and so thin, was for a 7 or 8 year old. And then once I got some of them to 12, I started looking for and sourcing more tween teen lines that went all the way up to size 14 and eventually 16 because my customer kept growing. And honestly, even after they hit 16, I then sourced Love Stitch and a few other women's brands, trying to hold on to my customers as long as possible. So that's another thing to think about too, that if you just sit in the I feel like baby and kids is very saturated in baby and girls. There's not enough boys, and there's not enough like toddler boys shows, big boys shows, and so we do still have to cultivate our following. It's going to take a while. Do, do, do. Let me check the comments. Yeah, Bella girl, I mentioned that earlier, that I finally am on TikTok. I've got a whole 30 followers over there. And same on Instagram. I mean, I've been on those sites individually just as a viewer, but now I'm finally trying to post content and bring a few people over. And if more people would do that, like, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna have 30,000 followers on TikTok. So that's not my goal. But if I can experiment with the platform and I can bring 10, 20, or 30 new buyers over this week, then you bring 10, 20, or 30 new buyers, like the power of multiplication. If we all can go onto TikTok and, use the hashtag whatnot baby and kids, like build some momentum, maybe we can collectively bring more people to whatnot. Keem, I just read your comment that you curse a lot. It doesn't bother me. So when I'm over in baby and kids, I have a very different. It's the same as when I used to teach, and I never cursed in the classroom, and then I owned a children's boutique, and I never cursed in the children's boutique, and so I am not. I do have a foul mouth sometimes. It's just I have learned to not do it in my lives because I didn't do it in my classroom and I didn't do it in my boutique. But I have no problem with that explicit at the end of the day, and just hanging out and relaxing. So to each their own. It doesn't bother me. Tips is fun. I'm glad that they offer tips now. Effects. Yeah, exactly. Bella, that's the thing. I think sometimes we forget that we don't have to be fascinating. We can also be informative. Like, um, I some of my mundane is interesting and unique to other people. I mean, so something, let me just give an example. Like, because I live in a condo in California, for me, the palm trees are fascinating to some people. Like, just the eucalyptus trees are fascinating. They love that backdrop. For me, I like to see, like, when people are canning and when they have chickens, I like the homesteading, like when they make their own bread and stuff like that. Or my friend Ashley, she lives in Minnesota and she's always buying camouflage. And I said, "Do you hunt?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I know how to hunt. It's not skin a deer. What's the word for when you take the meat off of the deer?" She knows how to do that. And it's like, just my mind was blown. Of course she does. She grew up around that. And so whatever is fun and interesting to you might be fun and interesting to somebody else, but oftentimes too, what is boring and everyday to you is not boring and everyday to other people. But you just said that you were in the military, and I don't have anybody in my family that's in the military. I have never been in the military, and so I do find that fascinating. I'm caught. I stayed up late last night watching Jack Ryan, and I know that that's not real life, but my point is still the same. Like, what is mundane and, everyday and what you're used to is not for that's the great thing about Whatnot, and the idea that we can socialize and we can talk about our life experiences because we are all so different. And then, it adds something to, like, you can sell sneakers on eBay, or what's the X platform, like there are other places where you can sell sneakers. But the great thing about Whatnot is that you can still sell sneakers and reach out and support other people and share your story and connect. That's what I love about this platform. I can sell kids' clothes on other platforms if I want to, and I can make more money probably. But I won't enjoy it as much. And that's why I do love to sell on Whatnot. I could use a few more buyers though. Doo-doo. All right, guys, we are going to wind down this chat. Let me see if there's anything else that I really wanted to kind of talk to you guys about today. We talked about categories. Oh, and I think this is a good point to bring up. Like, I hope that you saw today, you actually saw the side of my head quite a bit because I was looking. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the tip. I appreciate that very much. Um, I hope that you saw today. I really was trying to engage the chat more. Like, it was a little bit quiet in the beginning, but what I have down at the bottom is a good reminder. Like, you can create listings. I haven't run any auctions. You can create listings that say, like, little commercial breaks or little topics, or whatever you feel comfortable doing, just as little signposts, and it may or may not help to engage the chat a little bit. This is purposefully a reseller chat, so in order for me to remember what I want to talk about, I created little listings, like a little agenda. Um, but you can do something similar in your selling shows too, where it says, moving on to my Star Wars collection. And then you just kind of tell a little story about, I remember, back in 1974 when we went to the first Star Wars movie. I was 5 years old and whatever. I'm just saying, like, please, if you take nothing else from this reseller chat as far as what to do and how to do it better, try to socialize with your audience a little bit more. You can gain a wider audience, you can hold your audience longer, and hopefully that will translate into sales if you engage the chat. If you talk to people, type and talk, acknowledge what they've said, instead of just, and this is 0 to 3 months. It has a really cute balloon print. It's in excellent use condition. All right, moving on to number two. This is Kate Quinn, and it's a rainbow print, organic cotton, super cute. All right, moving on to number three. Like, if there's not a little back and forth, your show can seem a little stale, and you can lose your audience. You got to do a back and forth. You got to do, and you don't have to be fascinating. You don't have to be entertaining. You don't have to have lights and action drama. I'm just saying, engage the chat. Like, imagine if you went out to dinner with your family and you just ate the food, forkful, forkful, forkful. Like, going out to dinner isn't just about eating the food. It's not just about picking up a biteful and eating. It's about engaging and talking and socializing and people watching, um, and appreciating and being grateful for, all those things come into play in my mind when you want to have a successful show. Be grateful for the people that are in front of you and thank them. Be excited about the merchandise. I hear a lot of people, they lift something up and they're like, okay, this one is just a black long sleeve shirt. No, 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 no. This is the best black long sleeve shirt I've ever seen. I love the raw edges where it rolls and it's super thick. Like, this is the thickest black shirt I've ever seen. You don't have to lie or oversell, but you should be excited about what you're selling, because if you're not, then the person on the other end is not going to be excited about it either. So, maybe another good tip is rewatch one of your shows. Go back and rewatch one of your shows while you're adding listings to a new show, and listen to yourself, and take some notes and think about, how do I sound, how do I look, how does my merchandise look, and maybe learn from that. Exactly. A little sharing goes a long way. And sometimes when you reach deep and share something that's raw, you really connect. So, don't be afraid sometimes. That's the beauty of Whatnot, to share your real story too. Like, only stay in your comfort zone as long as possible, but don't be afraid to go outside of your comfort zone a little bit too. What's cringy? Oh, listening to yourself. I I don't know. I don't mind. I don't mind re-listening to myself because I guess if I've been doing it for so long, like, heard my own voice just in teaching, that all of mine, if anything, they sound a little too much like a class. Like, it's just, but all right, guys. Let's go raid my friend Too Cute. I hope she's live. She was gonna do her dollar clear out, and she is so close. She's less than 100 sales from 1,000 total sales. Like, and that thousand, we're all chasing that 1,000 sales so that you can start to get the instant payout. And I think she needs, I don't know, last I saw it was like 80 something, hopefully less. So if you guys don't mind, we're gonna head over to my friend Too Cute, and then I'll be back for the meth giveaway at 1:38, and I might pop up and do Amazon returns in the palette category as well. I'm popping all over the place today, but thank you so much for joining. I appreciate having this opportunity to talk to you guys and to talk things through, to bring all of that back up. I'm going to look at these last few comments and make some notes, and I'll be in Too Cute's live for a little while if you guys want to chat over there. She doesn't mind. She's super chatty. I love Ashley, and um she owns an actual bricks and mortars boutique. So she's one of my favorite people to support because I love shopping small, not just on Whatnot, but in real life, and real life bricks and mortars too. All right, let's head over there. Everybody say hi and buy if you can. Dollars matter. Take care, guys. Thank you.